Bruiser Bedlam.
Yeah.
There's never a story about Bruiser Bedlam that isn't just hilarious in one way or another. And since you were friends with him, you've got to give us a few funny ones.
Well, the first night, first of all, I'd been beating people in Smoky Mountain. I was a no quit kid. And a lot of times when Jimmy would bring some in, the Harris twins came in and Brian Lee asked their cousins, he pulled them to the side and said, hey, this is Bobby Blaze. You take care of him, or Ricky and Robert would say something like, hey, Bobby's one of our regular two, take care of him, if I didn't know the person. But Bruiser came in, so it's me and Ricky and Robert, and we're talking to Bruiser, and he legitimately just a big fucking brute. Cold as a whore's heart outside, and he comes in wearing a fucking tank top and flip-flops, like what the fuck? He's got the hair thing, and I'm gonna be working him on TV. And this is actually one of the nights I stayed at the Flop House, actually. And anyway, he said, I would like to catch you and do a power bomb. You think I can lift you up and see? So me and Ricky and Robert stand there. We're in the back on a concrete floor. So Bruiser picks me up and gets me like almost to my head is about where his waist is, and he starts to bend my body so my waist will go over his shoulder. Well, as he brings me down, because again, we're on concrete, he's not going to slam me, or at least I hope he's not. But right as he starts lowering me down, and I had done shit like this with Ricky and Robert before, so he's kind of in on it. And I just reached down and I smacked the ground real quick. And as soon as I did, he let go, and I just did a forward roll. And I said, God damn it, man. I said, fuck. Well, he started immediately apologizing. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Here's this big, but he didn't drop me on my head. I slapped the floor and then rolled out of it. And so I knew what I was doing to do it. And Ricky Roberts was like, oh man, you hurt Bobby. And he goes, they started like, he's supposed to be making you look good on TV. And I'm selling it like, oh man, what the fuck? So I kind of ribbed him there at first day, and I popped up and we laughed about it. So we had a good little laugh about that. So that eased the tension right away. And then that night, whether he said duck or not, I don't know. But he fucking threw a haymaker, and he damn near broke my jaw. I mean, he just knocked me off my ass. And I was just kind of out on my feet. And he may or may not have said this when I got to the corner. Didn't you hear I say duck? And I was still out. I was like, I ain't hear shit. And I go to the finish. Well, Cornette was managing, so I had to do something to get myself to the top rope to do the finish. So he missed something, but he made it very clear, like move, and missed it. And then I went up top and he caught me, and we done the finish. It's very easy because we'd already cleared the headspace in the locker room, like I said. And so then we went to the Flop House that night, and he was like, man, I'm so sorry I hit you. I'm so sorry I hit you. And he goes, I swear I said duck. I said, it's good. He didn't kill me, but I was sore. And then worked with him a couple more times, just little house shows, just real easy. He'd do the claw on me on my stomach to make me submit. And I'm like, I'm up here beating every motherfucker up here, Bruiser, and then you come in and make me quit, but stomach, claw or whatever. But then also he was working some up in Canada and up in Detroit. He actually got me booked up there some with it was a promoter, Gary. I can't say last name properly. One of Cornette's buddies. Gary started with W, but anyway, he took me up there to some matches. And the first night in, Bruiser and I was in a locker room talking this and that, and the promoter come by, Polish name, I think, Gary Winsdorf. Anyway, he says, I'm not paying you guys to be in here making love. I'm paying you guys to get out there and wrestle. And we're like, oh, no, it's good. We'll tighten up out there, because we was just sitting there bullshitting, going through stuff. But we gave him a good show, and he really put that over. He goes, well, Bruiser spoke a whole, really good about you. That's why I brought you in here. But I'm, we was just messing around in the locker room, and I guess he thought we wasn't going to go hard in the ring, but we did. In fact, Bruiser, I had associations with the YMCA here in town, and I knew a lot of guys that lifted here. And I said, Bruce, would you come into town early that day? What would you charge me for the first time he was going to wrestle Ashland? I said to come in and do a bench press exhibition at the YMCA for me. And I had a guy already planned on being out there for all the people that showed up to sell tickets to him. Had to work. And so I said, Bruce, what would it take? Well, at the time I was married, and my wife was a pretty good cook, and she cooked spaghetti really good. And he said, I haven't had a good home cooked meal for a while. He said, do you think you can have your wife cook me a home cooked meal? I said, I sure can. I go, what do you want? He goes, what she do best? And I said, man, everyone that's ever eaten it, they love her spaghetti. He goes, make sure I get a home cooked spaghetti meal and I'll be in your town at this time. He came in like at 2:00, which is like 4 hours ahead of the show, come to the YMCA, and he pushed out like, the biggest lifter here was doing like, a couple 405 guys, 450 guys, couple 500 guys. Just, it wasn't a powerlifting gym for this area, but it was a pretty good gym. And he come in and done 500 pounds for a couple reps, and people just fucking freaked out, cause he done his gimmick, and we sold like 15 tickets, my buddy did, and at $10 a pop or whatever. So there's another $150 going towards the house. And all I was out was a spaghetti dinner meal, So, and I brought to him, he went from there down to the building, and I brought his meal to him, and she had garlic bread, salad, and also a big Paul Newman cake she had made with caramel and chocolate and all that. And he was in heaven, man. He was in heaven. And Corny came to town and later on and managed them, So yeah. I didn't. Thing is, fucking guy's a killer. I didn't know. We talked. He had the prison tat on his stomach, and as you know, read my book, I'd worked for a federal penitentiary for a couple of years there in between, finishing up Malenko's and getting a contract. And in my second book, I wrote a story called Yard Time. So it's about, we brought a professional wrestling show into a federal prison. But anyway, so I had a little bit of experience that away, but him and I always got along, man. And I'd rib him about his tattoo and, stuff like that. And, I'm not saying we was best buddies or anything, but we certainly didn't have any issues. And I'm sure glad he didn't fucking try to fuck me up or blow my house up, So,
Was he never part of like the biking thing around, the Smoky Mountain area? Was that just something in the past and future, or he go in and out of, do you know?
I think he must have went in and out of. And now he may have had some people he hung out with in Knoxville or around there, but when I went there, I would do 3 or 4 days at a time. Then I'd come back home, and he was in his Jeep then. So I don't know if he had a bike down there or not. I really don't know. I know he talked about it back home all the time, but and also I think more so in the pen when you have to, they segregate themselves, and he had his own gang in there. Really was the whole deal, protection in numbers, if you will. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was worth probably about 5 people on his own, I reckon. He was a scary looking dude, if nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For